Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Philosophy 1320, Ethics and Society. My name is Carrie Crisp, and I am your instructor for the semester. This is just a short video to go over the short version of the syllabus. By the way, there's a syllabus quiz that y'all have to complete for this class. So if I were you, I would pull that up on your computer while you're watching this video because the answers to the syllabus quiz are going to be in this video. All right, so here we go. If y'all take a look at the Canvas site and you look under modules, the top module is the syllabus module. There you will find the short version of the syllabus that I'm going over right now, as well as the long version. The long version is about 15 pages long and includes very detailed information that the university and the department and I have provided for you. But I know that sometimes you're looking for something specific, and those things that people have been specifically looking for whenever they've had questions about my syllabus are the things that I put on the short version. So it's kind of like the Cliff Notes version. Do y'all even have Cliff Notes anymore? Do y'all even know what I'm talking about? It's like the outline version of the syllabus. Let's put it that way. All right, so let's take a look at that document right now. And starting from the top, this is Philosophy 1320, Ethics and Society. If that's not the class that you should be in, then we need to see what's going on with your schedule. My name is Carrie Crisp. As I said earlier, you'll see the letters JD after my name. That means that I have a Juris Doctorate degree. I have a doctorate degree in jurisprudence. So my doctorate degree is in law. I went to law school. I didn't go to graduate school. So that's what that little title is. What to call your instructor? You're welcome to call me Carrie. You're welcome to call me Professor Crisp, or you may call me Dr. Crisp. I prefer that you call me Carrie. Do not call me Ms. Crisp, Miss Crisp, Mrs. Crisp, Miss Carrie, Ms. Carrie, or Mrs. Carrie. And the reason that I do not like these gendered titles, we will discuss when we talk about feminist ethics. Next, we have my email address. So if y'all need to get in touch with me, the best way to do it is by sending me an email. And my email address is cc1021@txstate.edu. I have office hours online from 12:30 p.m. until 3 p.m. on Mondays and Wednesdays and by appointment. So if you're not available during those times and you need to have a meeting with me or talk with me about something, then just send me an email and we'll get that set up. Our classes for this course are going to be at 11 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. These classes are held via Zoom. And there is a lecture schedule that will be posted under Canvas. If y'all look under modules and look under syllabus, you'll see the lecture schedule. I need to go back and see. I don't know if that's posted yet by the time this video will be posted, but I'll make sure that it's up for you by the end of this first week. Our class YouTube channel is called Philosophy Nerd Lady, and the address for that is posted, like the link is posted in the short version of the syllabus. And just FYI, she in the videos, that's me. That's my YouTube channel that I created just for this class to clear up any questions about that. Now let's look at the stuff that people usually want to know. What are the assignments and how do we deal with grades in this class? This system that I have is a little bit different from the systems that most other professors use. So the way that grades work in my class is this. You're going to be graded on a 100-point scale. You can earn up to 75 points from the assignments that I call required assignments. These are assignments that everyone in the class is required to do. Now, because the class is graded on a 100-point scale, if you only do the required assignments, that's 75 points, that means you will end up with a C in the class. Now, I'm hoping that y'all want to earn a higher grade than that. Hopefully, everybody's going to try to earn an A because I think everyone can make an A in my class. I've designed it so that it should work out that way for you. If you put in the work, you'll get the grade in this class. So if you want to earn a B in the class, that means you'll have to have at least 80 points, which means you need to go over and take a look at the optional assignments and the extra credit. If you want to earn an A in the class, you're going to need to earn at least 90 points. So that means that after you complete those required assignments, which are worth up to 75 points, you're going to need at least 15 more points. So everybody who wants to earn an A in this class, everybody in the class, you're shooting for 90 points in the class, all right? Now, these points accumulate over the course of the semester. The only time that you will have points deducted from your grade is if you do not complete and submit a required assignment. All right? So for each required assignment that a student fails to complete and submit, the number of points that that assignment is worth will be deducted from their final grade. Now, does this mean if, you know, for some reason you can't do, that was my cat, sorry. If you can't do like the meeting with your professor, if for some reason you aren't able to do that this semester, then 5 points would come off of your final grade. So if something like that happens, you'll want to go and you'll want to find an extra credit, or you'll want to find like one of the weekly optional assignments and complete and submit that to take the place for those 5 points. All right. So let's talk a little bit about these required assignments. Now, the first required assignment is the syllabus quiz and student questionnaire. That's 5 points, and that's due March 17th through March 19th. Why do I say 2 different due dates? It's because your work is going to be due on the Friday at the end of these weeks, but I give you a 2-day grace period. So there's a 48-hour grace period. If you forget to turn something in on that Friday, you have until 11:59 p.m. on that Sunday to get it turned in. All right. The next thing that we have is what I call the baseline activities. That's worth 10 points, and that's due March 24th to March 26th. After that, we have the critical thinking assignment. That's worth 15 points, and it's due March 31st through April 2nd. Then we have the mid-semester check-in. That's 5 points, and it's due April 7th through 9th. You need to be involved in at least 2 online discussions at some point during the semester, and you need to complete that involvement by April 14th through April 16th. Now, there are 5 discussion options that are already posted, and I'll probably post some more during the semester. Next, we have the meeting with your professor, which is worth 5 points, and it's due by April 23rd. That's not something you can do late because there's only one professor and I have 5 classes. Next, we have an assignment I call the Big 3. It's about Kant, Mill, and Aristotle, and that is worth 15 points. It's due April 28th to 30th. And then the last thing you'll do this semester is the self-evaluation and top 5, which is worth 10 points and due May 7th. Now, the syllabus quiz and student questionnaire / initial check-in is pretty self-explanatory, but if anybody has questions about that, let me know. The baseline activities, that is explained pretty well in the instructions. I haven't had anybody have questions about that, and I've been doing that for a couple of semesters now. The critical thinking assignment, I have a video that if it's not already posted today, I'll make sure and go in and see that it is posted for you that explains that assignment and how I want you to do it. The mid-semester check-in, you're just going to go in there and on Canvas where that assignment is, answer those questions for me. Tell me how you're doing with the class, how you're doing otherwise. Do you have any questions? Can I help you with anything? The online discussions, the way that those work is you are going to just look at the instructions for each discussion. Some of them have multiple questions and prompts. Some of them only have like a couple of them. Some of them require you to apply a philosophical theory. Some of them I'm just asking y'all to have a discussion. So take a look at the instructions for each of those discussions. The meeting with your professor, y'all can either join what I call class Zoom meetings, which I will be scheduling those to take place after spring break. All right. So after spring break, you'll see that schedule of the class Zoom meetings that goes up. And those are where you're going to get to talk with me, introduce yourself to me and to your classmates, whoever just shows up at that day and that time. Now, if you want to do the meeting with your professor and do a meeting that's just one-on-one where I meet with you, send me an email and tell me when you're available, but give me multiple dates and times because it could be that you're available like when I have my other classes on Mondays and Wednesdays, or maybe somebody else has already scheduled a meeting, but send me an email as soon as you can. So if you want a one-on-one meeting, so we can get those scheduled. All right, y'all? All right. The next thing that we have on the list is the big three. So this is an assignment where I'm going to have you write a philosophical essay where you're going to apply Kant, Mill, and Aristotle, each of their big ethical rules, to a situation. There will be a video about that assignment, and that assignment will be posted after spring break along with the video that goes along with it. And that last assignment, the self-evaluation and top 5, I'll post a video about that too. But what I'm asking you to do is tell me what are your top 5 favorite things about this class. It can be anything, as long as it's about this class. Kitty, could you please be quiet just for a second? I'm so sorry, y'all. She's in heat, but she's too young to be spayed. So we have like 2 more weeks of this. I'm so sorry. I'll try to find my headphones and microphones so that we don't have to hear the outside noise. But I wanted to get this video done for y'all, and I'm not sure where those are right now. So the self-evaluation in top 5, you're going to tell me your top 5 favorite things about the class, why they are your favorite things, how you think they helped you, and you're going to evaluate yourself as a philosopher. So with the baseline activities at the beginning of the semester, I ask you a bunch of questions, and some of them are just like, if you don't know the answer to what is deontology, or you don't know what an informal fallacy is, just put I don't know. But in those questions in the 3rd section where I ask you, what does it mean for something to be good? Is it necessary to be happy, to have a good life? And those sorts of questions, that's where I really want y'all to take your time in the baseline activities, because at the end of the semester, I'm going to ask you to evaluate yourself as a philosopher, and I'm going to ask you some of those similar questions, and we're going to see, have you changed your mind about anything? Have you grown in some way? Have you learned something? Has this clarified something for you? So those are the things that I'm going to have you do for your required assignments. All right, if y'all have any questions about those assignments, like I said, send me an email. So just to remind you one more time, the required assignments are worth a total of 75 points. For each required assignment a student fails to complete and submit, the student will lose that number of points off their final grade. For example, if a student fails to complete and submit the critical thinking assignment, which is worth 15 points, then that student will lose 15 points off their final grade. So if that student has 90 points at the end of the semester, 15 points would be deducted from their grade, and that student would then have 75 points. So that student's grade will have fallen from an A to a C. What do they do about that? You're going to go and you're going to look at the optional weekly assignments. So when you see these things that say assignment options, that means these are optional. You're not going to lose any points for not doing them. All you do is gain points by doing them. So with the weekly assignment options, they go in the order that we're presenting the information from class. So for those of you who go at your own pace and don't stick with me, you're just going to go in that order that we have those things set up on the schedule of topics and assignment due dates. Now, there are multiple assignment options for y'all because I've taken into account different learning styles and different ways that people learn this information. You'll see that for each of the different units that we have, there is a resources page that has various videos, various readings. There's no textbook for this class, although there are some books that I use frequently for the class, like Writing Philosophy by Lewis Vaughn. I use this book, The Power of Critical Thinking by Lewis Vaughn. I use, it's not right in front of me, but The Fundamentals of Ethics by Russ Schaefer Landau, The Moral of the Story by Nina Rosenstead. I use a few books throughout the semester, and I'll tell y'all what books those are and where I got the information, so that if you want to access those, you can, but it's not required. All the information that you need for this class is available to you online for free. So if y'all do the optional assignments, you're going to see that whatever resources you need are usually linked in the assignment. Now, one more time, grades are based on a 100-point scale. That means for an A, you need at least 90 points. For a B, it's 80 to 89 points. For a C, it's 70 to 79 points. And for a D, it's at least 60 points. So 60 to 69 points. Now remember, if you only complete and submit the required assignments, you'll have 75 points if you earn all the points, and that will get you a C in the class. Now, this is something that's very important, so I'm going to slow down. Your grades in this class are based, excuse me, on the number of points that you accumulate over the semester. They are not based on the percentage of points you've gotten from the assignments that are available. Okay? Why am I telling you this? Because every semester I have people who look at the percentage on Canvas instead of looking at their total number of points. And that ends up making them very anxious at the end of the semester because they haven't earned enough points, or because they're reading it incorrectly and they think that they're not doing well in the class and they have like 117 points. So here's the deal, y'all. When you go into Canvas and you look at your grade, you want to see how many points you have earned. So ignore the percentage that's up at the top of the right part of the screen when you look at your grades on Canvas. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and look at the total number of points that you have. Okay? Your grade is based on the points, the total number of points that you have earned. It's not based on a percentage. All right. Now, we talked about weekly optional assignments. So those are the optional assignments or assignment options based on the different weekly topics we cover in class. You'll see those topics in the modules, the assignments tab, the scheduled topics, and assignment due dates. With those assignments, you'll choose one from the different options to complete, and they are generally worth 3 to 6 points. Now, class attendance and participation. You are not required to attend class. This is an asynchronous online class. You may choose to attend class, which is held via Zoom at 11 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I will post the schedule of class Zoom meetings. Hey, Kitty, seriously, later this week so that you'll have that. But until that's posted, I'll post the Zoom links on the Canvas site. Will y'all excuse me for a second? Kitty, come here. So this is the deal about coming to class. For every class that you attend, you'll earn half a point. So you don't get punished for not coming to class, but you do get rewarded for coming to class. However, if you come to class, you need to be here within 5 minutes of class starting. So class starts at 11. You need to be on the Zoom by 11:05. You do not have to have your video turned on the whole time. But at the end of class, the way that I take attendance is I get my cell phone out and I take a picture of the screen. I will compare this to the roll, like I get the attendance also on Zoom. And the people who are there within the amount of time they're supposed to be there and who stay till the end of class and who have their faces showing in their video when I take the picture, those people will earn half a point. If you show up 10 minutes into class or 15 minutes into class, you have not attended class. If you don't stay the whole time, like if you leave before the end, you haven't attended class. If your face is not showing in the picture, you have not attended class. Because y'all, even though I only took one online class, and that was in law school, and we didn't have to come to class, I know the tricks. Like I know some people will just turn this on and not actually be paying attention. And that doesn't count as attending class. So if you have questions about class attendance, let me know. Now, at the end of this semester, I will post your attendance points. Some of you who do not attend class will freak out and you will get in touch with me and say, what do I do about this? You don't do anything about it and you don't need to do anything about it because you don't lose points for not coming to class. You only gain points. So once again, remember, your grade in this class is based on the total number of points that you earn. And I'm not trying to be pedantic and I'm not trying to like talk down to y'all in any way or be patronizing or any of that. It's just that every semester, this is an issue where people are just not paying attention to what I'm saying, and it gets kind of frustrating. So before we get to that happening, let's just not have that happen, right? So just remember, you don't have to come to class. It doesn't count against you if you don't come to class, and your grade in the class is based on the total number of points that you accumulate. Okay? All right. Now, this is something that's a technical thing, but it is important. There's a thing that instructors have to do that's called roster certification, and roster certification takes place March 22nd through the 27th. During that time, I am required to certify that every person who is enrolled in the class is actually attending the class. To be counted as attending a class in an online class, you must complete and submit at least one written assignment. According to the university policy for online classes, simply attending a Zoom lecture does not count. You must submit an assignment for you to be counted as attending classes for the purposes of roster certification. To give y'all the maximum amount of time possible, I will wait until midnight, so 12 a.m. on March 27th, to certify the class roster. That means if you do not complete and submit an assignment by 11:59 p.m. on March 26, 2023, you will not be counted as attending this class. So in other words, due to the deadlines for roster certification, to be counted as attending the class, you must complete and submit an assignment by 11:59 p.m. on March 26th. Okay, late work. Like I said earlier, you'll have up to 48 hours to submit most of your assignments late, without any point deduction. That is that little grace period that I have built in for you. However, you may not submit the self-evaluation or the meeting with professor. Those cannot be done late. So in addition to that 48-hour grace period that I build in for most of your assignments, you may also submit up to 3 assignments late without a point deduction for those 3 assignments. Okay? So you'll submit those under the submit late past due assignments. And just FYI, in order to access assignments after the due dates and after the closed date of the assignments, you have to access the assignments through the assignments tab. So there are 3 different ways that you can access assignments on Canvas. You can go through the home screen where they're just listed like in order of the due date and get them that way. You can access them through the actual assignments tab where they're each listed out, or you can access them through grades. But the only way that you can access them, as far as I know, if once they're closed and like past due, is to go in through the assignments tab. You'll still be able to see the assignment, whatever the assignment was, but you won't be able to submit anything there. When y'all submit something late, every time, so okay, this is for everything you do on Canvas. Anytime you go in and you modify something or you submit something on Canvas under the same assignment, it will erase what you have already done. So what I would suggest for the late past due assignments is put your work into a Word document and save that document and just put all your late work on that one document. Okay? Because that way it won't erase what you submitted. Last semester, this was a problem for a couple of different students who submitted 3 extra credits or 3 late things in a row, and it just erased the one that they put in before every time they submitted a new one. Okay, technical difficulties. I understand people are going to have technical difficulties. I had some last week whenever there were some really bad storms here, and actually this past weekend had them as well. So this is the deal, y'all. If you are claiming that you're having a technical difficulty submitting something, I need proof of that. So I used to be a lawyer before I started teaching philosophy at Texas State. Yeah, I was a criminal defense attorney and a family law attorney. Here's the deal. I would like to believe you whenever everyone tells me they had technical difficulties. But I have learned that it's not always the case that people are telling the truth. So if you tell me that you had a technical issue, like Canvas won't let you submit something, you need to get your cell phone and you need to take a picture of whatever the screen tells you, or you need to take a screenshot on your computer. You need to get a friend. You need to find some way to prove that you're having technical difficulties. I need to see proof of that. So I need to see whatever message they're telling you. I also need to see this because if you are having technical difficulties and you're taking an online class, we need to figure out how to get those fixed for you, right? Like you don't have to deal with that throughout the semester. That could be seriously problematic in an online class. So if you're having technical difficulties, take a picture of the screen, take a screenshot, capture that image for me. Let's see what message you're getting so that we can get it fixed, because ITAC can help y'all with a lot of these issues that do pop up. And I'm not saying you won't have, we will all have technical difficulties at some point over the semester. That's just gonna happen, right? Like technology is not infallible. There are gonna be problems. And I totally understand that. But I need to see what's going on, both so we can get it fixed and so that I can, have some evidence of that. Also, like we're going to be using evidence to back up our claims in this class, and that's something everybody should be getting used to from day one. Yes, we are going to have some proof for what we have in our arguments, because that's part of critical thinking and that's part of philosophy. All right. Extra credit. You may earn extra credit points throughout the semester through the extra credit assignments that are posted on Canvas. And if you enjoy doing the discussions with your classmates, there are 5 of them posted. You have to do 2, but if you want to do the other 3 in addition to that, go for it. You'll earn 5 points for each one. And so like if somebody really likes doing the discussions and you're trying to earn an A in the class, you can do the required assignments and then do 3 extra discussions, and that would be your A, right? So students really enjoyed the discussions last semester, and that's when I started doing those. I hope y'all will this semester as well. And if y'all have any ideas for topics, let me know. All right, we're almost done with this. I'm sure you're happy to hear that because that cat is driving all of us to the brink of needing an extra cup of coffee or to step outside into some silence or something. Okay. For y'all to know about your grades, I can't communicate with you about your grades via email. Federal law prohibits it. All right. So what that means is I had to create an assignment on Canvas. It's called Grade Check. Canvas is a closed system where the only people who know about your grades and see the messages between you and I are individually you and I, right? So each student has a separate communication just with me, right? Nobody else has access to that. It's just us. That's private enough for federal law. So the way this works is if you want to know how you're doing, if you have questions about your grades, anything like that, you're going to go in under the assignment that's entitled Grade Check. And that is where we can communicate about your grades. We cannot communicate about your grades via email. It's against the law. Okay, one last thing. So as far as grading, I try to stay on top of it as much as I can. Like when the assignments due, I'll grade them. There are occasions where I'll have other things going on that have to take precedence. So please don't email me asking me when I'm going to grade your work. Your grades are due at the end of the semester. I will try to keep you reasonably informed, and I will grade as quickly as I can as soon as things are submitted. But there are occasions where I can't do it that quickly. So just so y'all understand, I know things will come up in your lives that will cause you to have to turn stuff in late, or you can't come to class, or, whatever. Life happens, right? The same thing will happen with my life, usually related to my pets. So I have a dog and I have a cat inside here. You'll see them at some point this semester. And then I have apparently become a neighborhood cat person because I take care of a bunch of outside cats that just wandered up. There are 5 of us. There's just like this area is where all of the neighborhood cats are hanging out and getting food. So it's fun. All right, y'all, this is kind of a long video because we had to go over all the things on the syllabus. Imagine if we went over the 15-page version. That was just a 3-page version. That would be super long. But there is good detailed information in that 15-page version. You like mine shaking my finger at you? You're supposed to read the syllabus, like the long version of it. So, you know, say work your way through that thing over the course of the next couple of weeks. So by the time you get back from spring break, everybody has read it and we know what's in it. The last thing is announcements. Y'all need to read all of the announcements. That is part of your personal responsibility for this class. That is where I communicate with everybody the most, is through the announcements. So if there's a change in our schedule, or if there's something special going on, or if there's like a bad weather situation, or if I do get to come to town in April, you know, any of those things. It's also where I'm going to post some reminders about class and things like that. So you need to read the announcements. That's like if we were in an in-person class, that's like me standing up in front of the class at the beginning of class saying, this is what's going on, right? So if you don't read the announcements, you're not going to know what's going on. All right. I think that's everything. Oh, no. There's one more thing. If anything is going on that's negatively affecting your ability to do the work in this class, if you need more time, stuff like that, send me an email and let me know what's going on. Your professors are people. We know that you are people, and you're going to have a handful of professors here or there who seem like you just absolutely cannot communicate with them, but try anyway. I mean, not everybody's empathetic, but most of us are. So in addition to teaching these classes, I'm the chair of the Suspension Appeals Committee. And the number one mistake that I see students making that gets them into academic trouble is not communicating with their professors. So you're people, we're people, we know that things happen. And sometimes, you know, really, you can have just a really rough semester and need some help one way or another. So please make sure that you communicate. Please make sure that you communicate. I want to see everybody in this class earn an A in the class. I've set it up, like I said, for y'all to make A's. I love my job. I love teaching. I love our students. Y'all are wonderful people. And I would hate to see anybody end up in a position academically that could have been prevented. We don't want anything negative to happen to your grades because you have like a heavy work schedule and you can't turn in this required assignment, and then you get anxious about it, and then you just start worrying, and then that anxiety takes, you know, we don't want those things to happen. So if we can prevent that, then everybody just make sure you communicate with me, okay? I'm excited about this semester. I love philosophy and I love teaching. I love my students. So y'all let me know if you have any questions about anything at all. I look forward to meeting all of you, and I look forward to reading your thoughts and to learning more about you. Okay, everybody have a great day. I shall see you soon. Bye, y'all.